Friends, a logical chain, blood analysis, Apollo flights, and reliable amplifiers with a 20-year warranty. What's the connection? Now we'll figure it out. 1962. Tony Bauer, Stan Ribb, John Stone, and Bora establish a company for medical equipment and blood analysis production. The name is formed from initials of their surnames. In the end, an elegant and piercing word, Bryston, is obtained. The brand Bryston, which will later make a splash worldwide. The affairs of this trio are not going well, and in 1968 the company is bought by a retired NASA engineer who was laid off along with the Apollo program. This guy's name was John Russell, who moved to Canada and is now involved in the production of classic amplifiers with his son. In 1973, his son, Chris Russell, made the first experimental sample of an integrated amplifier, which at that time delivered a serious 100 watts at 8 ohms and had a classic double mono construction, which will become the hallmark of the Bryston company. The name of their first amplifier was Pro 3. 3 more years will pass and their cult model, which costs $4B worldwide, will appear. This device was very popular with recording studios as well as regular users. By the way, these devices are still present in many places, especially in the professional field. Before these amplifiers Cube, which we currently have on test, there was a version SST, SST2, just ST. So, the abbreviation translates as Stuart Taylor. It was engineer Bryston who made numerous innovations and technical solutions. You could say took this company to an even higher level. The abbreviation SST stands for Super Stuart Taylor. The engineer is excellent. We've made great progress in history, but the ignorant have no future. Let's move on to our main character, Bryston B135. Honestly, I'm glad I got this device for a long test because its predecessors were very acclaimed. Numerous magazines, both ours and foreign, utilize prior models of this device as controls. A big indicator that even the magazine Autozvuk, our well-known one, also uses, or used before, I don't know now, but before for sure, the Bryston integrated amplifier as the amplifier on which car speakers were tested. The parts of this firm are highly precise, speedy, utmost neutral, dissolve in the system. And also Bryston are in many recording studios, which means that sound engineers mix songs, compositions on these devices, and when you test certain songs, you get approximately the same result as the author intended. I have the latest Model 135B Coupe in my hands. Before that was SST2. So the main difference between SST2 and Cube amplifiers is that the new devices use a straw input cascade. The patent that Bryston registered and the sound quality in the new amplifiers is truly amazing, maintaining linearity at all volume levels, from the first watt to the last. He generates 135W at 8. The indicator in my view is not remarkable. However, it is still Brighton. Well, it's quite expensive. 650,000 uncharged version, and you can also equip it with a phono preamp or a DAC. In general, Bryston has not had the best relationship in Russia. I can't understand why. After all, this company is extremely popular and reputable abroad. And what do I appreciate about Bryston? What she still does not belong to anyone. Unlike the identical Mark Levinson Arkham, regrettably Bauer & Wilkins has already been sold. Marantz. These companies are part of conglomerates, unfortunately. And I think this is not very good because they lose their independence, originality. This same device is completely independent. They made him in Canada and they still do, and they don't obey anyone at all. That's cool. They stick to their line and continue to make quality products without looking back at anyone. By the way, Toros, as far as I know, has also been purchased by English buyers. This factory was built for the Britons, as well as other top-notch integral and highly capable authoritarian transformers. Honestly, I grasped his gameplay, and when we rate Android, I'll share all the details with you. Now let's check its design. The first thing that catches the eye is the design, which is very simple. In my view, even a tad monotonous. The silver variant appears, in my opinion, more appealing. Observe his frontal armor. He resembles a T-70 light tank. She is simply enormous. I think if someone attacks you, you can just hit them with these bracelets. The volume knob is made of metal and it is of a considerable size. It is functioning properly very well. And these buttons, well, they are as always plastic, but on the other hand, they do not cause any dissonance because they are a little cold to the touch. Perhaps I'm incorrect and they're iron, but it still seems to me that it's plastic. Once again, these holes like in Hegel, but why can't you make a handle like Denon or Marantz without these unnecessary openings? Radiators. As you can see, they don't occupy the entire side part. On the other hand, the device is modulated by a computer. At least in Bryce they don't say so, so there should be enough of them for maximum work without overheating. I'm also curious if there's active cooling inside, but I doubt it. My main disappointment is the lack of balanced inputs in this device. Why didn't you install them? Friends, these are firms, I understand everything. At least two pieces, like in Hegel 390. Yes, neutrals were there, but no balancers are present. This is definitely a bad situation. The terminals are of extremely high quality, with the capability to connect two pairs of bananas. So, I have already attempted this trick. You connect bananas to these two ends, and they fit perfectly in this location as well. Alternatively, you have the option to connect the paddles and bananas together using bi-wiring, which is a very simple and reliable method. Observe input separation indicates waiting for true double mono. Device comprises power amps 2.5B and preamp BP, consisting of two components, power amplifiers and preamp. 17. And these familiar switches on each channel, can you hear the way they are being pressed to the point of causing pain? This device is divided into a preamp and a power amplifier, and it can be used as a preamplifier or purely as power amplifier. Cool idea. Another feature of the 135th is that you can use it as a power amplifier with a fixed input volume by connecting it, for example, to your processor or, for example, to a receiver, downloading the front speakers with this device, and the rest of the speakers will be powered by your receiver or other amplifiers. This is a great feature for integration into DK. The connection terminals themselves are extremely rigid, very powerful, and they have a gold-plated finish. Additionally, we have grounding, which is necessary if you have a phono preamplifier. Our amplifier is currently empty, so please take a look at these optical inputs, as they are currently inactive. If you purchase the module, they will illuminate for you. Additionally, there is an RS-232 trigger input. And here is the much sought after inscription made in Fabrique, Peterborough, Canada. They say that the majority of the details are actually created there, in the cold and snowy country of Canada, which is surrounded by maple trees. Remote control. Finally, it's in a set with an amplifier. By the way, it's versatile. Now it goes with the preamp, power amp, and integrated amp. Button for BDA314, for CD player, and for the preamplifier in the audio system setup. That's why they all go the same way with these devices. What do I like about him? What he is iron and fits well in the hand due to the fact that you see the faces are rounded. The second point, these volume and stop buttons are distinct from all the others, allowing you to easily perceive them even in the dark. What don't I dislike about him? Yellow color, I think it's unnecessary. Yet the device is stylish, powerful, and has a yellow color. This is not a Ferrari after all, not a Lamborghini, it is Brighton. My friends, I am truly impressed. A total of 28 bolts are used. Just imagine, these 28 separate pieces are used to securely attach the aluminum lid. I have never witnessed anything like this before. Why is there so much? Everything is perfectly fitted. Well, let's open it. She is light in weight, she is constructed using aluminum, a lightweight and durable material. Wow! What an impressive production. Can you observe? As it is evident, these components are constructed using bent aluminum, and for the purpose of achieving a flawless match with the cover, it undergoes milling. But here the milling is not done very neatly, but on the other hand they do it and not just glue some damping surfaces there. By the way, on the other hand, the milling is done perfectly straight, cleanly and evenly, just like on the aluminum cover. Furthermore, the cover is machined on both sides after being painted. All of these actions are taken to ensure the highest level of accuracy and coolness possible. Transformers, unfortunately not Plitron, but we see they're made neatly and qualitatively. Made for Bryston Ltd, i.e. exclusively for this company. Eagle Rise Electric and Electronic. Honestly, never seen this company, but I think they make serious high quality components, judging by appearance, especially the Doom Transformers. I have no complaints, they are manufactured with maximum quality and are cool. We can see a total of 3 transformers, 2 on the channel and 1 more small in additional protection in the casing. I understand he's going to the digital part or the preamplifier. On each channel we see 2 capacitors, 15k microfarads each. The total is 30,063 volts. The wires are made very neatly. I recall Hegel how everything inside was chaotic. Here it is simply absolute harmony. The wires that go to the board are fastened with terminal blocks and they are Wago brand. Please be aware that the card is inserted into the slot from both sides. Firstly, it makes it easier to repair and replace these parts. Secondly, because there are fewer wires, naturally there is more free space inside the amplifier. Air convection is also carried out more efficiently and quickly, so there are no additional obstacles for the air and everything cools better. This is definitely a plus. There are indeed an order of magnitude fewer wires than in Hegel. Note that these boards are a hybrid of the BP17 preamp and the 2.5B power amplifier. On the boards we can clearly see the name 2.5 billion written in bold letters, making a significant impact. This is the connection of their Bryston 2.5B power amplifier. Attention deserves a fuse, which is sealed with silicone adhesive, to prevent it from falling out or preserve it better, but I've never seen such a thing before. Capacitors from Nippon Hemicon, 2 big transistors attached directly to the radiator, just very big. We also see several small transistors. They are located just under the large ones. Well, on top we also see a couple of things. On the sides you can see acoustic labels. Once again, they are very powerful and have been coolly done. 2 big bolts, they are connected to the board. Android rating. Friends, sound 10 points, unequivocal 10, because it is very fast, very accurate, very neutral, with one of the best bass in the world. I heard superior low frequencies solely from his older individuals like 4B SST2 or 4B Cube, 7B Cube, when there are 2 of them present. Our hero's sound character is exactly the same as that of his older siblings. But, you know, at low volume you can't even distinguish them because they don't have these inflated lines like Bryston, for example. There's reference, a cool line, a middle line. They only differ in power. It is nice. This indicates that the company produces benchmark devices, but they differ in terms of, let's say, power, in terms of the pulling force of the columns. I'll add that it integrates perfectly into a home theater, again due to its neutrality, due to its honesty, due to its transparency. If you connect it, for example, to a receiver or a processor so that it powers your fronts, you will get a perfect home theater system combined with stereo listening. It's very pleasing. Not every amplifier, whether integrated or powerful, will be suitable for integration into a home theater, because these amplifiers may have certain genre preferences. For example, Arkham has certain nuances. The same goes for Hegel, Laxman, they all have their own sound signature. There is no unique sound signature in Bryston. It can be beneficial for someone and detrimental for someone. For me, this is good because the device dissolves in your configuration. If you have done something wrong, he will show it. If you've done all chosen components perfectly, Bryston delivers clear, fast, cohesive sound. I really enjoyed the rock on this amp, it was fantastic. In general, not every device is capable of playing intense compositions, but this one also handles jazz, vocals, and basically everything else exceptionally well. Completely detached from genres. Whatever you put, everything plays. Definitely a very rare plus in our time, so 10 points unconditionally. Functionality of this device is not high. It's a regular amp without network functions. And of course the downside is that it lacks balanced inputs. I consider this of course completely unacceptable. On the one hand, on the other hand, with ECA inputs it plays simply superbly. Well, okay, for an additional fee you can add a DAC or a phono corrector, but honestly I don't see any point. It is easier to connect Note 2i or any phono preamp from Rega to it and get a significantly, as it seems to me, greater improvement for the same or even less money. But if you, for example, install Node 2y, you will get a super functional, super application. You will have Tidal, Spotify, you will be able to listen to songs via Bluetooth however you like. In general, there are many inputs, so feel free to connect in parallel and expand its functionality as always to the sky. Still, it's a 6 for Bryston's leg of anticipation, unique device, reliable performance. Definitely 10 points. We opened, looked, you saw practically nothing to find fault with inside. Only tank company on market, if not correct in comments, provides 20-year warranty. Imagine a 20-year warranty on equipment, well, it's simply madness. Design 7 points. This is definitely not Laxman, not Akufas. He does not possess any of these interesting notes that make them stand out from the rest. On the other hand, it's simple, concise, fits perfectly in any interior, but I still think the design is a bit outdated. However, he has continuity. That is, all prices are similar. If you take, for instance, the first model, there, the 90s model, but now the 2016 released model, by the way, this design will fit perfectly. But definitely not under any Baroque or Rococo. Ergonomics 8 points. On the one hand, it's so simple, everything is convenient for him, everything is at hand, all these switches, you can immediately switch to it without turning there in turn. However, a major drawback resulting in a deduction of 2 points is the lengthy heating time. The reason for Bryston's criticism is its extended warm-up period, requiring approximately 2 weeks of continuous uninterrupted usage to reach optimal performance. Only after that he reveals his maximum potential. Therefore, if you bought Brighton or you listen to it somewhere quickly, they want to show you in the salon, unheated, taking it out of the box, or when it was standing, well, it's better not to listen because it will not reveal its full potential. It needs to be warm. Even if you turn it off at night after listening to it, instead of putting it in standby mode. By the way, in standby it consumes about 70 watts. So you slept, turned it on in the morning, and it still doesn't work. More precisely, it plays but not cool. It needs about 20-15 minutes to warm up exactly somewhere. So we turn on in the morning, go drink coffee, tea. Only after that, Brixton gives out its signature cool sound. Value for money. If you are a professional, if you have good hearing, if you want to get the most accurate, fast, neutral amplifier, definitely take Bryston because it deserves only 10 points. Yes, it has its drawbacks, lacks balanced input, lacks networking functions, but as an integrated amplifier, as an investment, I'm not afraid to say this word, with a 20-year warranty, this device will be a kind of family relic alongside grandmother's necklace or coins. But it won't become obsolete because it's made superbly, it plays very cool. Well, you know, it's a professional thing. This is similar to some kind of device, like a special tool designed for specific tasks. Here he plays music in a very cool manner, really plays it as neutrally as possible, earning a total of 10 points for his performance. I will be remorseful to give it away because the sound it produces is incredibly captivating and hard to resist. If you've created your system well, installed cool speakers, have good cables and a good source. By the way, let's discuss wires in comments, their insignificance, necessity or lack of now. To make a complete wiring, ideally pulling it from the switchboard, better yet from the substation. Yes, it's better to do it this way, but if you can't, change the power cord in the amp. Yes, this is not Laxman, he will be very different. Yes, this is not Marantz. By the way, we compared it directly with Marantz, we conducted blind testing. So all three groups in which there was a boy-girl, boy-girl, boy-girl arrangement, all agreed Bryson had the best bass, very accurate, very low. Regarding Marantz, we'll also test and shoot a video soon. It was more loose, let's say voluminous, but didn't catch on. Out of all the amplifiers we tested, my belief is that Bryston is currently one of the best integrated amplifiers if we don't consider devices like the E650, which is known for its exceptional performance. He simply sounds superior to Hegel, despite the fact that he possesses only half the power beneath the hood. I dare to suggest, friends, if you didn't like Bryston, there are 3 reasons for that. The first reason is that he didn't warm up. The second reason is that certain components in your system do not match the level of this device, and Bryston demonstrates their low quality. One of the reasons is that there's a problem with your hearing. Let's take a moment to listen to the smooth turn-on experience from Bryston. Not as impressive, of course, as the 4B or 7B amplifiers turn on, but nevertheless you hear that he checked all the chains first and only then turned on. Again, Bryston's chip